What's up, all of my Magnusites? Okay, as you've seen in the video title, I'm going to talk about a few things, okay? I want to know if being gay is learned behavior, okay? Are you born gay, all right? Or is it a choice, all right? And I'm going to explain to you how I'm going to connect them all, and I'm asking questions. First of all, I'm going to tell you that one of them I do believe is true, but I in no way have an issue with gay people, okay? I'm just asking questions and talking about things that I've noticed in my life, okay? So here we go. First, is being gay, are you born with it? All right? Well, let me ask this question. How many of you grew up and you knew a kid or several kids? In my childhood, I knew 4 guys in particular. And when we were coming up, they were always feminine. Okay, they literally act like girls. They, jumped rope, double dutch, all that stuff. They did all of that. A few of them grew up. Well, I'm not gonna, cause it's just gonna, point the finger. But I'm sure they don't care at this point. But I'm gonna keep their, private life private. But here's the thing. They acted like that since they were little children. I mean, I grew up with them. And of course, when you get older, you're like, yeah, he always did act, and he always wore this, or he wore that, or he did this and he did that. So that does raise that question. Can you be born that way? Since it's so young. Now, one of them I had heard through the grapevine, through a very reliable source, was actually molested by a bisexual man as a child. Okay? Now, that would lend to the whole idea of, well, okay, was it learned behavior then within him? Okay? Or was it because that man was stimulating him when he was molesting him, did he like it and then as he grew older, made a conscious choice to take that on? Okay? Here's another thing as far as the learned behavior. I know we all saw 300 and Spartan King Leonidas. I know he said about the Athenians, those philosophers and boy lovers. But if you look in the real history about the Spartans, they would take boy lovers, into their training. They often they were lovers with somebody, when they were being trained, and they normally didn't get married until later on in life, until they were, grown and had proved themselves worthy in battle. So, if this was a cultural thing, like all traditions, it can be learned, okay? So, let's leave learned alone for a second, and now I'm going to talk about choice a little bit. Now, I'm going to talk to you from a biblical point of view on this one. I was raised in a very, religious household. And one of my uncles said to me one time, and this was when the whole, is there a gay gene and all that stuff came up. And he said, well, let me explain it to you like this. Adam and Eve sinned, and through them all sin, and, we all inherited sin. So you think about this. He said, how there's, certain family members that you may have or whatever that like to lie or like to steal, and they just can't seem to stop. I said, well, what do you think being born with a sexual tendency to do something that you weren't born to do? I said, oh, that's interesting. And I said, well, let me tell you this. If that is a imperfection that we were born with, or gays were born with, then what a hell of a fucking sinful nature to be born with. Because you know what? Behind eating, I think sexual gratification or reproduction is the most powerful feeling that we have, if not the most powerful. And you know how it is, fellas, growing up. Speaking from my point of view, you know, we're like a dog in heat, man. We will run across the street, almost get our neck broken to holler at a girl or get at a girl. And, you know, that's why kids are having sex so early. I mean, these, you know, that's probably why they got married so early, because sexual urges hit so early that it was like, rather than go out and fornicate, they was like, all right, just marry them off so they can start procreating now, husband and wife, this and that. So if it is an imperfection, then someone would argue that it is a choice, because they can't fight that urge hard enough to, you know, conquer it. I don't know. I'm just saying, okay? And, okay, so we went through what? The learned, the born with it, and what's the next one? Born with it, learned, choice. Here's the thing. Out of them all, I think that learned is definitely a possibility. If it can be a cultural thing, a traditional thing, it can definitely be learned, okay? Choice, if you're taking it from that spiritual standpoint, you damn right, it could be choice. But like I said, what a hell of a sinful nature to inherit, because it's, like I said, one of the strongest ones that you can have, the urges that you can have. Another one is just being born gay, you know what I mean? Here's the thing, what I'm trying to explain, y'all, without going too long or sounding like I'm all over the place, I think you're kind of getting the idea of what I'm saying. It's like, there seems to be evidence out there to support each one. So until I find out the truth, the real truth, I as a human being am just going to judge gay men and women on the content of their character as a person. Alright? And that's all I got to say. Hit me up if you have any comments or questions. And just realize that I'm just voicing my thoughts. Things I'm thinking about, what's going on, okay? Nothing hateful. Don't put anything hateful on, because, you know, they always say that God, if you're spiritual and you're going to make a hateful comment, just remember, God hates what they do. If this is true at all, God hates what they do, not the human themselves. You gotta remember that, okay? So, go ahead, hit me up, and let me know what you think. Talk to you later.